what you can actually see here is what? Function. And function is a relationship. Function, now you understand function as what? A relationship. I said function serve as what? More like what? A relationship. So now since this is a relationship between something, so now if for instance I have f of x, that's f function of x is equals to what? X square. For instance, now what I'm trying to say is that when x approach a particular number or when x becomes a particular number, what will happen to this particular one? When x get to a particular number, maybe 2, what then happen to the function? So it simply means that you're going to put this value of what? X in the aspect of what? X in the other part. So you're doing what? Substitution. So you're going to be saying this x here stands as 2. So 2 is going to be raised to the power of what? 2. So 2 raised to the power of 2 is the same thing as what? 2 multiplied by what? 2, which is going to give me 4. So that's that for what? Talking about function. So now let's take another example in terms of what? Function. Like if I say f of x is going to be equals to what? 3x plus what? 1. What I'm actually going to be doing here is that then I say find f of what? 2. Now that's the question. I say find f of what? 2. Now it simply means that in this function, when this x here changes to 2, what will be this? So now I will say my f of 2 is then equals to what? My 3 in a bracket. Now this s aspect I'm replacing it with what? 2, which is what? My 2 here. Then close the bracket. I have what? Plus 1. So 3 plus 2 is going to give me 6. 6 plus 1 is going to give me 7. So that's the answer for this particular one. So now function continues. We have what to call functions of what? Functions. Now let's talk about functions of function. So now if for instance I say I have my f of x to be equals to what? 2x plus 1. And I also have my g of x to be equals to what? X plus 1. Now I can ask you a question and say, what is f of g? And I can also say, what is what? G of what? F. So now let's take a quick look at these ones and see what we actually get as the answer. So now it simply means in this case that now instead of you replacing this particular place with a number like the way you did this, you are not going to be replacing it with this number exactly. You are going to be replacing it with what? This g. So now let's take that. We have f of g to be equals to. Now this is f particularly. So now since I'm replacing what is inside with what? The g. So it's going to be 2. This my x here is going to be what? G. You understand me? Then I have what? My plus 1. So from this place, I can just say my f of g is then equals to what? My 2 bracket what? The value of my g, which is what? X plus what? 1. Then I have plus 1. Exactly. So from this place, I have f of g to be equals to, this time this is going to give me 2x. This times this is going to give me what? 2. Then I have plus 1. So if I add everything up here, I have f of g to be equals to, this will give me 2x. Then 2 plus 1 is going to give me 3. So that's the final answer for this particular one. Now let's talk about g of what? F. So now, like I said, this is called what? Functions of what? Function. You understand? So now, when I'm looking for g of f, I'll just pick out what? My g, which is what? X plus what? 1. Now, since what I'm using here is to replace this particular s with f, so I'm going to be having f plus what? 1. So what is the value of f? So now from this spot, I'll take the value of f, which is here, as what? I have what? My 2x plus 1, then I have plus 1. Because I have replaced my f with what? The value of f. Is that right? So I'll continue. What I have here is then 2x plus 2. So with that, I've gotten what? My g of f from what? This particular function. So that's how to solve whenever you see functions like this, and this is what function actually means. So now, if you know this video was helpful, don't forget to give me a like and give me maybe a topic you'd like me to talk about. In the next video, we're going to be talking about graph. So after you knowing what function is, you also need to also know the graph of what? Functions. So now, go out to check the next video, which you are going to see right after this. You're going to be learning how the graph work in what? Functions and stuff like that. So that's that for that. And if you like this video, don't forget to share it to your friends so that they can also learn from this. And subscribe to this channel for more tips like this. See you in the next one. Bye.